Why are we talking about this? Why do we go over all this random history? It's over with and we're here, so who cares? What does this have to do with mystery religion? This history, these events, these people, these organizations are elements to mystery who is seducing the world to follow her religion. These organizations and governments are now preaching the same things all these religions are preaching. The governments are preaching the same things all these religions are preaching. The modern church is preaching the exact same things as well. These things that they're preaching are the same things Alice Bailey was preaching, that Helena Blavatsky was preaching, that Hermes Trismegistus was preaching. That's all history that has led us here. And what is here? Exactly as the Bible told us it was going to look. That's why we look at these things. We must know what we are fighting against. Not the Rockefellers, not the UN, not the Earth Charter, but the entity behind them. Or better yet, as Scripture would say, the entity writing them. If we are to not only defend against the spiritual attacks coming from all these things that the world wants to tell us are politics, but they're really not at the root. That's just the show that they put on. If we are to not only defend against that stuff, but then go on the offensive, not to fight it and bring it down, because the Bible tells us that ain't going to happen. That's not our role. Get in your lane, Jack. But go on the offensive to try and get people out of that and to Jesus. We have to know what we're going up against. And I say this all the time. And I know. But it's unfortunate that literally one of the most dangerous, if not the most dangerous thing against us as the church is one of the least talked about things, one of the least talked about subjects being discussed today. I mean, even the prophecy guys don't even want to touch this subject, but this is what is going on. This is leading everything. How do we not talk about the thing that is literally riding the beast in? How do we not talk about that? Is it just too big? I mean, we're on part 15 and we're not even close to being done. Spoiler alert. Yeah, it's big, but we got to know what we're going up against. We got to know what we're facing. You know what? I'm not a military guy. I'm not. But one of the things that I've heard from military guys, because I know several of them, is the most important thing that they have on the battlefield isn't their armor, isn't their weapon, isn't tanks or helicopters or anything. They said the most important thing on the battlefield is information. Because if you are equipped you're in your underwear with a shovel, if you know where the enemy is at, you have a way to get either around him or get behind him to take him out, even though you have nothing even remotely close to what he has to face. It's the information. And it's the same thing with what we're dealing with today. We are in this spiritual warfare, whether people want to admit that or not. I know that's a term that likes to get thrown around, but just like when in Matthew 24, Jesus says, do not be deceived. I don't think we even have a true understanding of what that actually means. We may think we do, but I don't think we actually do. Spiritual warfare right now, even in this very room that I am in, angels and spirits and demons and all these things, they're going at each other. They're all around us. We've got to have information to the best that we can right now to do the jobs that God told us to do in this time. Warn people of what's coming and get people to Jesus. And I just don't think that we are well equipped on the knowledge that we need to understand right now to do our jobs properly. We can do our best. We can absolutely do our best. I think we can do better. And I'm not, waving my finger at anybody, even for myself. Because as much as this series is for you guys, it's for me too. You know how much stuff I'm learning by doing this? It's insane. It's insane. But we've got to be equipped. And that's why we talk about this history. You sit there and I'll be honest. When I first read the name Hermes Trismegistus, I laughed too. Like, you got to be kidding me. Then as I kept studying, I go, whoa, this is not anything that we should be laughing at. He was a very key cog in getting all this stuff going forward, because the same stuff that he was talking about, that he wrote on the emerald tablets, that all the people back then were worshiping and whatnot, is the same stuff that the UN is putting through there. It's the same stuff. It's literally the same stuff. That's why we talk about it. This is just me and you guys right now just talking, because this is really what's happening. This is really what's going on. It's mind-blowing. But we've got to know what we're going up against. It's not Biden. It's not Gates. It's not Klaus. It's not the Rockefellers. It's not the Rothschilds. It's not the Morgans. It's mystery. It's Satan. That's who we're going up against. Arm yourself for the battle. And again, the battle is not to take it down, because we know that's not going to happen. That's not our job. But we got to warn people. We got to get people to Jesus.